for 2,000 years, the figure of St. Ignatius of Antioch, one of the first of the great martyrs of the early church, has been a stupendous one example and inspiration to those who seek to serve our Lord and be faithful to Him unto the end, shedding their blood for Him, the witness to the truth and the goodness of God. The two readings we have just heard help us to understand better not only the sacrifice of St. Ignatius, but also what that sacrifice reflects in the mystery of our salvation. First, the letter of St. Paul to the Philippians, where he urges the Philippians to walk in his footsteps, to imitate his striving for the things that are to come in heaven, and therefore to give up those things which represent a purely, in modern terminology, materialistic, secular point of view. And that, of course, as brings us to the second reading. Those who do that will eventually lay down their life for our Lord in one way or another. Perhaps not in the same extraordinary, or some would say almost sensational way in which St. Ignatius' witness underscores the point. If we are to live forever, if our life is to continue, then we must be willing to, as it were, sacrifice our life, like the seed that must first die in the ground before it can produce the great fruit. It's a paradox, but it is perfectly true. A simple example that it helps us to understand the paradox of a stupendous sacrifice. If we strive to conserve our life, to, as it were, gather great riches in this world, so we can do whatever we please, simply are not going to save our life. We're going to lose it, precisely because we're trying to save it too much in the wrong way. If, on the other hand, we're willing to sacrifice all of these things, our Lord doesn't mean we should commit suicide, but if we sacrifice these things, strive to seek first the things that are in heaven rather than the things that are on earth, then we will sooner or later, as it were, run into opposition from those, as it were, who are, as it were, given a guilt trip by the fact that we don't enjoy the things that they enjoy in their materialistic point of view. So let us reflect on these things often, that we must be willing to walk in the footsteps of Jesus, and first, as it were, die, as it were, into this world, so that we might live forever. And in the process of that, we will not lose our life. This is the most wonderful thing that our Lord has given us in the most blessed you, who eats of my flesh and drinks of my blood will not die. I will raise him up on the last day. Let us keep it in mind always, and we will never be sad about our lives, but in the midst of even the worst of sufferings, such as those endured by St. Ignatius, we find a stupendous joy, looking forward to that moment when we shall be in the presence of the Lord, and converse with him and enjoy his company forever and ever. Praise be Jesus and Mary.
Misericordes